I think one of the things that stuck out to me most in watching Elevate is some of your conversations with the guys and the demands that you have of them. How did you, how do you set that standard from the get-go, and what goes into that type of planning going into the first few weeks of preseason?
Well, look, what I would say is this. There's planning, the X's and O's, and there's also these behind-the-scenes things that Drew knows better than anyone. What makes a winning team win? What makes a team go? And so many times, yes, the X's, the O's, the strategies, tactics, principles of play, but a team without a soul, a spirit, a togetherness, young men being leaders, this for me, there's not a winning team I've been part of that doesn't have that. So as much as even today we had a meeting with the back line and there was some tough messages in there. However, there's a certain feel that it comes with. There's follow-up conversations to make the guys understand, hey, there's a human being there. So there's both of that happening all the time, at least with my style of leadership.
I feel like when I've been able to watch you here these last couple months and watching you play when I was growing up and then playing against you a couple times, you live your life the way you played, the way you want your team to play. I remember the scouting report on Chicago Fire in 2005, my rookie year, was...
That's a memory. Good job.
From our coach was Chris Armas, and his running mate in midfield, I believe, was Jesse Marsh. They like to hunt in packs, and they're going to come at you with a lot of energy. And this is the way you want your teams to play. So is it important for you to come into work every day? Is this just your life? I don't understand. Do you sleep at night? Do you just plug in at night? Where does this energy come? Was it Mom's chicken rolls back on Long Island? Yeah, where do you get this energy from? And is this your style of coaching? You live the way you want your team to look and play.
Yeah, look, man, you dated it a little bit there.
I dated both of us.
You watched me play growing up. That's funny.
I did too. But I don't have the scouting report from 2005 and know all the...
That's funny. Yes, I finished end of 2007. But look, I think, and look, I've watched you show up every day, and I don't think it's an act, but this is, some people we all have energy, right? And some, it comes out differently than in others, but anyone that knows me, my family, friends, they know that when I'm in the room, it's a certain energy that I'm giving up. I'm not really, I'm not the extrovert that always wants to be in the middle of things. I'm not. I actually like, if I'm at a get-together or a party, like just being on the outside of it. However, in this setting, when I was a player and a coach, my superpower, I think, is that. That I do have some gift for having the energy in a real way and spreading it to others if it's contagious, which I believe it is. And I'm probably, to be fair, as a husband, as a friend, as a dad, when I'm very deliberate this way. When I show up, that you leave work there and you come home and bring the energy in a good way. So I'm an optimist for sure. I'm skeptical. Maybe it's the New Yorker in me. I'm not negative. So I see the glass half full always. And I do try to bring that and empower the people around me to bring that.
One of the things that I always like to talk with players about, or I think of even my game when I was playing, the players that I looked to try to emulate, right? You're never going to be that player, but you try to take little things from a Busquets or a Xavi and bring that into your game.
Sure.
Now you're a coach. You probably did that when you were a player. Now as a coach, do you have that same kind of mentality? Who are the coaches that you look to and say, I like how they do this, and maybe I can tweak this from what they're doing? How have you built your own coaching scheme within some of the coaches you like to look at?
It's such a good way to frame that question, because you're talking as a player, right? And I did the same when I was a player. I was a holding midfielder, as Drew says, to hunt the ball and pit bull. But my favorite player was Zinedine Zidane. Could you imagine the guy that he's the greatest?
Is that why the bald head?
It's well, I wish I could. We have other challenges there, but Yeah, like trying to take from other players for sure and add it to who you are, but never forget who you are at the end of it. So same with coaching. I read the books. Nowadays there's so much information online and what you can see on the Netflixes and these things. But I love leadership. The leadership and listening to the best coaches talk to their team. And so for me, from my experiences, it's, Bob Bradley, the way the details that he could cover, the way he would use less words to portray a message was really interesting to me. I said, come on, Chris, why so many words? Can you do it in less words? Bruce Arena was a magician at management, egos, personalities, demanding, yet he's playing around the golf with guys. Wow, that's not easy. As a coach, if you it's a slippery slope sometimes. You go and play golf and cards, and then you're not starting. And he had such a way with this. So I try to take from each of those guys. I got to work with Jesse Marsh. He's also a details coach, but a worker, just tireless. And I also get it, but he showed me, that can be the standard, like that you're not special because you're working hard type of thing. His ability to juggle so many things at once and still seem calm. Try to take some of that on the global scale to the Pep Guardiola, some of the tactics and how he loves his players but can drop the hammer and be hard. There's also the Bill Belichick's, who I really take a lot from.
Yeah.
From a coach that talks about most games being lost, not won, forced mistakes. Great, we're going to do the same. And I've always believed this as a player and a coach, and now listening from some of the greatest, the leadership part of things. Those are just to name a few, but there's it's something I'm very deliberate how I show up every day, how I push players, how I try to keep getting better, learning. I'm taking coaching courses currently now, a UEFA course that. And the crazy thing is, maybe it's not so crazy, but the more I learn, the more I'm finding out I don't know, which is a little scary.
Not the case, though.
It's okay. Like I know I'm learning more. I'm getting better, but there's just so much to learn. It is important though that you don't overthink it, and you do come back to right where you are and stay true to who you are as a player.
Right, kind of glean out as much as you can, but be you.
Yeah, because you can get overthinking things at times. So for me, it's reminders to say, hey, you're good enough. You know what you're doing. Go and do it. Go and do you type of thing.